Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to another timeless general love reading. Please keep in mind it is still general. It's not going to resonate with all of you for sure. You can also check out your moon and rising sign, and it's actually not a bad idea to check that out anyway because it just gives you a bigger, more well-rounded view of the timeline. The timeline for this reading, it is timeless. So whenever you come across it is when you're meant to get the message. But when you come across it, it will be good for about 4 to 6 weeks out, okay? Time is fluid. I'm probably going to mark it as September only for organizational purposes, but it is timeless. I want to thank everybody for viewing, liking, sharing, and subscribing. I also want to thank everyone that supports me by purchasing the extended videos and private readings. Also, I want to thank everybody who's donated, as well as those of you who have purchased my decks of cards and my product from my store. Thank you so much for all your support, everyone. I think that's everything I need to cover off right now. Oh, I am starting something new. Every week I'm going to be putting out 3 of the zodiac readings, okay? Now, since they're timeless, it really doesn't matter when they come out. I was going to start this in September, but I thought, okay, so when am I going to start it in September? I'm doing it now. So this is your reading for the next 4 to 6 weeks out, okay? And then every 4 weeks from this point, you will have a video. Okay, so I'm going to put you, I think this week it's Scorpio, Virgo, and Sagittarius. So 4 weeks from now, I will be doing the same 3, and they will be coming out during the week. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to publish them the day I record them. So, you know, maybe it will come out Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, or they all come out on Thursday. But anyways, you will have a reading every 4 weeks, okay? That's good for 4 to 6 weeks. Your first card out, Scorpio. Okay, come on, Kim. Anyway, the Hanged Man. This is, if I can remember how to say it properly, Apokalypsis deck. I'm pretty sure is what it's called. I love this deck. 3 of Swords. Nice. The Star card. Wish fulfillment. Look at, I'm sorry guys. I've been painting again with black paint and it gets under that nail and I just cannot get it out. 8 of Pentacles. Now this next card coming out is going to be part of your overall energy combined with the bottom of this deck when we're done. Wow. High Priestess. The Star and the High Priestess, the Hanged Man. Out of 5 cards, you have 3 major arcanas. Not in your control, Scorpio. 9 of Wands. Wow. The Moon. You have a big need to go within and listen to your intuitive, your inner guidance system, because there's a lot of hidden realms here, a lot of secrecy that you're going to have to figure out intuitively. Wow, the Devil. Look at the major arcana cards here. 5 out of 8. Princess of Cups. Look at the butterflies in this card. Transformation in love, guys. That is, it's kind of an outcome card. This is where you're at, beginning of the spread-ish, okay? Because time is fluid. This is where you're headed. Need to head, want to head. We're not sure yet until we get into the reading. But the High Priestess is part of your overall energy combined with the bottom of the deck. Ouch. 5 of Swords. Look at it in this deck. Here, I get this lined up so you can have lighting. These guys are having a great time. Everybody around them is afraid of them, but they're having a great time. Okay, let me take a minute and get a feel for the energy as well as any messages coming in, Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio. It's really no surprise to me what the messages are that are coming through, because this week, not this week, I'm sorry, last week, I was guided to do a video. There was so much energy around the Lionsgate portal and the timeline of last week, energetically moving up to the 24th of August, which was Saturday, based on planetary movements and alignments, gaining something very special. It was about being gifted something spiritually, but in order to keep it, we're having to let go of something else. And what we're generally having to let go of is the 3D side of things, the material side of life. And the material side of life is all about 3D living. It's about human beings. We all, as human beings, live a very materialistic based existence. And some of us, you now included, because this is the message coming through for you, some of us are being gifted with an up-leveling of spiritual, psychic, intuitive abilities. And it's not a gift that you want to let go of or you want to allow to dissipate if you can help it. And in order to keep it, we're having to let go of the 3D. So up until this point, basically, we've been, in the beginning of our awakening, we were 3D, fully 3D. Then we would start to make the shift into what I like to think of as a filtering type of dimension, 4D, and into 5D. But for a while, we were able to step from 3D into 5D and then back to 3D and back and forth. And you knew you were doing it, because when you went into 5D or functioned from a place of 5D, it just felt different. You were in the same places you always went to, but it looked familiar, but it felt different somehow. It's a very, it's an okay feeling. It's not scary or anything. It's just like, I know this place, but I don't know this place. It's kind of strange. But anyways, now you've been gifted with enough up-leveling spiritually, psychically, however you want to look at it, that you now need to be and can be in 5D all the time. And those of us that have been gifted with this up-leveling are being asked to be in 5D all the time. And in order for you to come together with your twin or your special soulmate or that love of a lifetime, whoever it is that you're looking for, that you're wanting to be with, you can't be with them until you are. Now, this is more than likely a twin situation, but I don't like to stick myself with just the twin situation, because I just don't like to be that confined by a term, because I do feel like we have very special soulmate partners out there. Those of us that don't have a twin, I mean, how do we know, right? And until we meet them and we end up with them, how do we know, really? There's a lot of hype about twins out there, and I don't like to fall into that, because I don't want anybody thinking, oh my God, this is my twin, I have to wait for them, I have to do this for them, I have to be this for them. Just move forward. But know that this gift you've been given, it is a necessity to come into alignment with and in union with your twin or that very special soulmate that you know is out there for you. You need to be in 5D. Okay? But to be in 5D 100% of the time, or majority of the time, you have to let go of the 3D way of being. Now this is 10 minutes in here, so I want to get to your reading, but those of you that haven't watched that video, it's got a black background with a really pretty white flower on the front of it, thumbnail, with a beautiful light going up behind the flower. But it's spirit guided messages is what it is. You might find that interesting because your very first card here is Hanged Man. And this deck, this is Tarot Apokalypsis. And in this deck, the definitions for the cards, some of the cards, is very different from that of the other decks. And I like to go by the definition of the deck that I'm working with and combine that with messages that are coming through. And it's very, very strong. That this is, your reading starts out talking about giving something in order to get something, but then to hang on to it. Now, the giving of something, this is you working on you for so long, so hard. You know, the inner work that we've all had to do, the dark night of the soul situations that we've gone through, the fighting the dark with the light, right? And coming over to the light side. It's been a long, hard go. But for that, you're being, I guess you could say, rewarded, recognized for your work and your expansion and your growth, and being up-leveled with further psychic and intuitive abilities. Now, in order to keep that, that's what I was talking about. In order to keep that, you have to let go of the 3D side of a way of being. So it's about becoming somebody, not becoming somebody different, because you've already been able to go back and forth between 3D and 5D, right? So now it's more about becoming someone who is strictly, or majority of the time, very spiritual, very, very psychic, rather than looking at things from the material side of things. I know I'm not explaining this right. You really should watch the video because I think I explained it better in the video. But it's about living that life of surrendering, having trust and faith in the universe that things are going to come to you. You don't have to chase after anything. It's not about chasing after things. Okay, so moving forward from that one card now, because that is the overall energy of your reading. You have the High Priestess and the Five of Swords as your overall energy combined. Now, the High Priestess is all about intuition. It's about following your intuitive guidance, your inner guidance system, getting really close and tight with your inner guidance system, knowing when it's giving you a message, following that message, believing, trusting. But the Five of Swords, now that's the complete opposite. See, now this would be the 3D version of the High Priestess. The High Priestess is 5D, very much 5D. It's using your intuitive abilities. It's your inner guidance system. That's how you move forward. That's how you're supposed to live your life at this point. But you're putting up a fight because the human side of us has belief systems and a way of thinking, right? Thought patterns and belief systems. That's what human beings function from. And you're being asked. So there's a line being drawn between these two. And you're being asked to go this way. Now you do have the choice to stay 3D. You do not have to go this way. This will fall away from you if you decide you don't want to move into 5D just yet. And please, the message I've been getting up to this point in time from Spirit is those of you who don't wish to cross into 5D just yet, not a big deal, okay? It's not like now or never. This will come back around again, because that's where everybody's kind of heading, is into 5D and higher, okay? It's just like shifting technologically, how humans shift technologically on this planet. You know, we now have cell phones. 30 years ago, we didn't have cell phones. I don't think they'd even been invented yet, had they? I mean, they were close. If they were out, not too many of us had one. Nowadays, it's not too many of us don't have one. So same deal, same kind of idea here. It's just a different realm. Okay, so that's your overall energy. You are going through a bit of a mental conflict here, because you're being asked to go one direction and you are stuck in your thoughts and belief systems. Okay, you're being asked to change that. Now, the Three of Swords in this deck, this is all about doubt, being doubtful. And you are now at a place where you're going through a bit of an identity crisis, because, or you will be, okay? So some of you are already going through this. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Others of you are going to be not quite here yet. And others of you possibly have already gone through this, been there, done that, okay? So I'm going to read this as this is where you're at, and we're moving this way, okay? So this is all your experiences going from point A to point B. There's a lot of doubt for you making the switch from 3D to 5D. There's a lot of doubt, and it's going to cause a bit of an identity crisis. And that's kind of what this is saying here. This is a fight. These two cards here being your overall energy, the High Priestess and the Five of Swords, this is you spiritually, intuitively fighting against your intellect. So it's ego versus soul is what it comes down to. This is your ego, this is your soul. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look what's underneath that. If you let go of the 3D and move into the 5D, you will have wish fulfillment on every level. Every level. And then you've got the Fool. New beginnings, Six of Cups. That's your soulmate. The Wheel. Oh, geez. I gotta stop because I could keep going. Two of Pentacles under that. Make the decision. You need to decide between the two ways of being, of living. Wow. Okay. Once you make that decision, once you work past the doubt and the it's not really an identity crisis. It's going to feel like a bit of an identity crisis, because you're trying to make a shift from a 3D to 5D, right? But the Star comes in, and that is the light. That's the enlightenment. That is your part of your gift, is clarity that shines on any dark doubt or insecurities around making this shift, and shines a very bright light on hope in moving forward, because what it's going to bring for you, okay? There is a lot to be gained from making this shift. You can gain benefits from the experiences of others who have made this shift, right? As you're making the shift, you will gain benefits from others that have made the shift. Because once you start to shift from 3D into 5D, Spirit says you're going to be moving into, how do I put this? A different circle. a different circle of friends. So some of you, possibly a lot of you, may be leaving people behind to make this shift into 5D. But allow them to drop away. It doesn't mean they're going to be gone forever. It just means that you're making a shift, you're raising your vibration, and you're making a shift into a different dimension. And they aren't ready for that yet. So they will be left behind for now. But eventually, they will be ready to make that shift, and they will join you if you haven't already climbed to another dimension. But you know what I mean? Odds are you're going to interact again with these people. So don't fear letting anyone drop away from you during this transformation or this transition. I guess this is more of a transition. You're transitioning from 3D to 5D. And just keep moving. Persevere. The Nine of Wands is all about no matter what you're going through, no matter what you're feeling, persevere. Just keep moving forward because it's strengthening you. It's building you up for what you need to be built up for, right? Now the moon, it's a card of the unknown because it's trying to see things by the light of the moon. It's not so easy. It's a lot easier to see things by the light of the sun. And that it represents a lack of clarity, right? But if you look at the spread this way, you've got the Star, the High Priestess, and the Moon, all major arcana cards. You are being divinely guided. You are being moved in this direction, okay? You don't have to do anything. Just surrender yourself to the process and allow it to move you forward because this is, like I said earlier, this is the enlightenment. This is the light, the clarity, the light that shines on your doubt and wakes you up to your inner guidance system so you no longer feel like you're in the dark. You will know and be able to see where you're headed by the time you get down here. See, like I said, you're taking a journey, right? This is your journey. And by the time you get down here to the moon, you're going to realize that you are functioning, I'm not going to say strictly from inner guidance, intuition, but you're going to be mostly there by this point in time. This is not a place where the mysteries that you encounter can be understood through reason or thought processes or belief systems, okay? This will be out the door. When you make it to this point here, this is long gone. You've come through the High Priestess. You're persevering. You are now in a place right here where you will be utilizing majority of you will be utilizing your intuitive abilities majority of the time, right? Now, the Devil card here, it means nothing like what it means in the other decks. And again, it takes us back to what we've already talked about being gifted this beautiful gift and hanging on to it by letting go of your thought processes and your belief systems and moving into a place of intuition, because this is all about you utilizing your instincts or your intuition at the very early stages. So this is right here, when you're at this point here, you are at the very early stages of using nothing but your intuitive and psychic abilities. You're building, right? You're experiencing, you're learning, you're building, and right at this point here is where you're going to be, I am going to say 98% of the time, you'll be utilizing your intuitive abilities. And the Princess of Cups, it's the perfect ending, the perfect outcome card for this, because the Princess of Cups, she is the goddess of the soul, which is what all of this is about. It's about going within, getting to know your soul, aligning with it, connecting to it, living through your soul rather than your physical human ego self. Now, you still are going to have an ego. That's necessary for survival, but you are going to be in a place of mostly moving through life intuitively, and it's going to feel so good. It feels so good to surrender to the process and just trust and have faith that the universe is guiding you and shifting you, and not the universe, your inner guidance system. Your soul is always shining the very brightest light on the path of least resistance for you, always. We don't always listen to it, but at this point in time, that's what you're being asked to do. Listen to your inner guidance system, because it is steering you in the right direction. It doesn't matter how it looks. It doesn't matter how it feels. It's going to feel a little off, because we have all spent our lives listening to our ego and moving forward because of what our ego wants. Well, now, up here, you're going through a tug of war between your soul and your ego. And let me tell you, Scorpio, your soul is going to win. Your soul is going to win. You can dig your heels in, and it will take you longer to get to where everybody else is headed in 5D. And you know, I don't mean to say it that way, that you're the only one digging your heels in. We all dig our heels in when it comes to something new like this, where we have to let go of our thought processes and our belief systems, because that's what we've lived with all of our lives up to this point. But when you reach this place, life is so simple. So simple. It's so easy. It's so stress-free, peaceful, loving, calm. It's amazing. This is a very beautiful reading, Scorpio, and it's no different than Virgo's. I have a feeling majority of the zodiacs are going to be getting the same message, but not everybody. Not everybody's on the same path. Not everybody is being up-leveled and shifted into 5D just yet, but you are one of them, or a group of them, because there's not just one Scorpio watching this. Okay, so I want to get for you, I want to get a Synchronicity Oracle card, as well as a Just Ask Oracle card. I think I just screwed these up. That's okay. I don't do reversals. Okay, angels, what have we got for Scorpio as far as a little bit further advice or guidance? Please. Thank you, angels. Wow. Okay, bottom of the deck. Visualize what you want. Isn't that cool? Okay, so visualize what you want. And check this out. Long-term relationship. Like I said, there's a need to have this long-term relationship. There is a need, because it's a very special relationship. It's a very special partnership. The two of you are going to shine your inner light on the planet to help make it a better place to be, and just help others to raise their vibration and climb into 5D and higher. This is so exciting. You guys, you've got to feel this energy. You have to feel it. This is huge. The energy around this is massive, and you have to be able to feel it coming. You have to. It's so big. There's no way you can't sense something coming. You might not realize what it is exactly, but you feel it. Leave comments. I love reading the comments, and every time I get messages like this where we're all shifting into a 5D or a higher way of of being and living. The comments generally, for the most part, are you all do feel this energy. You know something's coming and you're quite ready and raring to shift with it. So what else can we give Scorpio angels from the Just Ask Oracle deck? Please and thank you. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. So this is perfect. Be true to you. Stand in your true, authentic power. Be who you came here to be. Now, I don't normally check the bottom of the deck of these oracle decks, and I was told to look at the bottom of this deck, so I did, but I wasn't on this deck. Okay, so I didn't. But you got 2 cards here anyway. Whatever it is you're thinking, have been thinking, needing an answer on, wondering if you should do it, and it's been driving you crazy because you can't figure it out, here's your answer. It's not a good idea right now. Your energy is definitely fractured, your overall energy, because on one hand, you've got the inner guidance system, the soulful intuition, but then there's the digging in of your heels, there's the fighting it, there's the antiquated thought processes and belief systems that are, you know, like I said, you've got this tug of war going on. You are bucking this or fighting it because of your, like I said, antiquated belief systems and thought processes, the way we are as human beings, and you're being asked to cut that free and go it intuitively, alone. And that's not an easy process. It is definitely something that you have to work on and keep working on and keep moving forward to do it. So, but in order to do it, you have to get your energy focused and moving in one direction. Right now, it's split, it's fractured. You're going, you know, one direction is your intuition, the other direction is your thoughts and beliefs. And you've got to find a way to bring it into harmony and balance, and so you can move forward, right? So this is what we're going to ask in the extended. What it is that you need to do, be, think, and or feel to focus your energy in order to move forward and be in a place where you utilize your soul, not necessarily 100% of the time, but a lot of the time, almost 100% of the time. And eventually you will be asked to do 100% of the time. Click the link below. We'll go into the extendeds and we'll get you some guidance. Thank you, Scorpio. I love you guys. I'll see you on the other side, or I'll see you next time.